I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Not like here. Here everything is soft and smooth.
Even though the character Anakin might not like sand, White Sands National Park, however, does have soft and smooth sand. So vast and expansive, it is the world's largest gypsum dune field. Just recently, this natural landmark became a national park, authorizing the conservation and protection of the dunes. The tale of White Sands begins over 250 million years ago, when the Southwest was covered by a shallow Permian Sea. Over time, sea levels rose and concentrations of calcium and sulfate in the water combined to form gypsum. However, once the Ice Age had ended, the water dried out and gypsum dunes were left. According to the National Park Service White Sands pamphlet, the dunes are shaped by prevailing southwestern winds, which pile the sand up and push dunes into various shapes and sizes. This past November, my friends and I decided to take a road trip and explore the wondrous place in southwestern New Mexico. We traveled by car and accessed the Dunes Drive exit easily off the Highway 70, just 13 miles outside the town of Alamogordo. Upon entering, there is a gift shop and bathrooms, and a room with information on the park. I was fortunate enough to get the chance to sit down and interview with Tandy Stevens, a recent park guide added to the staff at White Sands. What about White Sands do you love?
I think even though we can have some high visitation, you can go out there and literally have solitude out there. People will see a line going into the entrance gate, but then they get in there and they can actually have their own kind of unique individual family experience, as long as they're doing it safely and they're taking precautions and not getting lost out there.
Yeah. Have you had any wildlife encounters?
Not as much as you would think, because our animals are primarily nocturnal. It's sort of seeing those tracks and you're like, oh, this little thing was out last night. So it's the tracks that kind of, when I'm doing a stroll with a group of people and I come across and I'm like, oh, that's fun.
What is the best activity to do at White Sands?
Photography, and you want some eye candy with some cottonwoods in the picture, or you want to recreate with a family in a picnic area and just slide and never take a hiking trail. It's getting somewhere touching and, feeling that sand and being around the sand itself.
So right here I have my friend Ryan, and I'm going to ask her a few questions because this is her first time visiting White Sands National Park. So starting off, what do you think of it?
I think it's really, really beautiful. It's really nice to be here. The sunset was really pretty and the sand was really soft.
And you come from New York, correct? So are the beach sand there different than this type of sand?
It's definitely different. Here it's so much softer, it's a lot cleaner, and it's really cool.
Okay, so right here I have my friend Dylan, and this is actually his second time being here, correct? And what is it like being here as an environmental scientist major?
Well, I mean, I can plainly see just all these formations, all these microorganisms in the soil and the sand. You can just see how a lot of it is even getting trampled, and I just feel like stuff like this can be much better protected, honestly, than it is now, while still retaining the ability to have access to it like we are right now.
As you can see, this natural landmark is a unique and recreational place to visit on your next road trip to New Mexico. The cost for a vehicle to enter is only $25, so invite friends and family to come along. If you're an annual national parks holder, your pass will also be accepted as well. It's guaranteed to be a fun experience and unlike any other as you explore this national park. Furthermore, as a lasting remark for any visitors, please make sure to leave no trace behind. This means any trash in which you have collected should not be dispersed on the White Sands National Park land.